counteract the maggot. Still got it. And there. Your parents should be ashamed of you. Still got it.
Lacking. Use this time wisely. Odin, forgive me. Yes.
Sorry, ladies. I'd love to stay, but I've got a job to do.
Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down this build that got us a 58-second Wotan kill. I was grinding this on stream for a couple of days. My first goal was like 2 minutes, then I wanted to get a minute 30. As soon as I got a minute 30, I wanted to get a minute, but the best time I could get for like a day or two was like a minute 12. And finally we played enough. We got the 58-second kill. Big shout out to Graveward. Once again, I give him big shout outs in a lot of my videos. He has a 57.75 kill, so he has my record beat by 0.25 seconds. I'll post his link in the description below. This build is so min-maxed, like to the extreme, to basically get these kind of kills on Wotan. It works with mobbing, basically, bossing, everything. Like, this is the craziest build. I'm going to explain it all. I'm going to break it all down. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Borderlands 3 Mayhem 4 Zane builds. Join the Zane Nation Discord, link will be in a pinned comment down below. And if you want to become a member to support my channel and get sneak peeks to different builds and content I'm working on, link will be in the description for that. So like I said, guys, this build is absolutely insane. This is basically the Torgue sticky build crossed with the banjo build. Basically, we use the banjo and the redistributors for mobbing, the infinite procs of seeing dead with the banjo, salvation, good misfortune is so good for mobbing, and then we swap over to some hedgehogs, basically to take out Wotan, and put on our slide speed artifact. So I'm going to break the whole build down right now. I went into the game, this isn't what I normally do, but here's a clip of me doing all that. So let's get straight into the gear. The first thing we should probably go over is this hedgehog. Now this is an insane weapon, and with Zane, with Torgue stickies, you can stick all your shots and then slide to get the bonus damage. I want to show you guys actually how to tell the gyrojet percentage through anointments. So it actually takes some backup knowledge with Torgue RPGs. Basically, the gyrojet percentages are 33%, 55%, and 75%, and it's all based on the magazine size. So mine has a 2-round magazine, which means it's going to be 75%. The lower the magazine size, the higher the gyrojet percentage. So if we go back and actually look at the card, you can see that mine says it has a 4 magazine size. You actually have to go into the parts. So my magazine is 2-round magazine, but I have 2 stock accessories that give me bonus bullets. So this is actually what you're looking for in Torgue launchers. You're looking for the lower magazine size and then the bonus bullets. This way this gets you the most gyrojet percentage and the biggest way to be able to stack them. Now, we ran this in conjunction with lots of mag size bonuses on my class mod, on my artifact. Basically, this is always going to get you the most damage out of Torgue stickies, and that's how we're able to do what we do with the hedgehog. So next, I'm going to show you guys the 2 cutsmen. Now, both of these cutsmen were very important for getting the speed rundown. The shot cutsmen just chews through shields, and if you see, I actually have an anointment while Sentinel's active, fire rate and reload speed are increased. That reload speed is what was basically allowed me to get through all those phases like that in that time period. Now, you don't need this anointment. Basically what this means is an unanointed cutsman will chew through his shields just fine, but obviously we were going for the speed kill, so we needed something like this. Now, the corrosive cutsman was actually important. I only used this once, but there's that quick phase where he jumps off the top, and it's just going to be the quickest to get through that with a corrosive cutsman. So really, these are the only 3 guns I used for the Wotan kill with the speed, like timing and all of that. The other great thing about having a corrosive cutsman is if you miss some shots with your rocket, you happen to go through your ammo, you can just finish them off with a corrosive cutsman. And yeah, so really just these items are all you need for the Wotan kill. Now, one thing I do want to say is this build is basically also great for mobbing. There are a couple changes though. The first one being that I normally run the shock craps with 50% bonus cryo damage with Sentinel active. You could easily have this in radiation with cryo as well. The craps is just a very powerful weapon. I believe it was in my Sticky Fingers build. This is a really good gun. This gun's insane. This is probably the best Torgue pistol out there. So I highly suggest getting one. And the bonus cryo damage from Sentinel seems to pair very well with it. And finally onto the redistributor. I've played with a lot of redistributors this past week or whatever. And the radiation with cryo from Sentinel is probably the most powerful one. There's just something about this element combination. You chew through shields, you chew through armor, and then both elements are neutral against health. and it gets through everything, I promise. So basically, while mobbing, this is the 4-gun setup I use, and then I actually wear my banjo. Because the banjo is just great for infinite see and dead procs. While banjo chains are active, you heal from salvation. The banjo itself adds a lot of damage with the chains and the elements and just everything. So basically, this setup uses 2 artifacts total and 5 guns total. So it's the same 4 guns, but we just swap this out for the shot cutsman. And when we get to the Wotan fight, we put on our snowdrift. And that's all the gear you need. I like to run a transformer. It's just the highest defensive shield with this build, and it makes sense for the skill trees we're running. What's also cool about the transformers, I've touched on this before, is that sometimes you can absorb bullets back into your sticky rounds, and you can get a couple extra shots off, which, once again, magazine size is the highest damage you can do with sticky bullets. And we got our piss grenade on with the 25% anointment. This is just a strong grenade. I don't want to say it's required for this build at all, but, you know, just a strong option in the grenade slot. So on to the skill trees. The first thing I'm going to mention is we're running 0 points in the barrier tree. So this is literally just a clone drone tree skill point setup. We were running the barrier tree before, but Graveward basically tried out a build with Supersonic Man instead of Confident Competence, and he seemed to be getting better results. So yeah, he figured that out basically. But besides that, we want the most possible points in damage, and then we want our magazine size. Once again, because we're using tons of Torgue stickies. Now, I do want to say real quick with the specific hedgehog I have, you actually only need 2 points in Prime Unitus. The 3rd point doesn't add another bullet. But we're running the craps, and our cutsmen actually get the bonus magazine from this point. So it seemed like a fine point to spend regardless of that. Now, one thing I want to bring up is borrowed time. If you're not going for the literal record kill, you don't need borrowed time. The redistributor, the banjo, like the banjo itself procs so many times off of with good misfortune, basically. You will literally have infinite action skills. You don't need borrowed time. The reason why I am running borrowed time is because of the record Wotan kill. Whenever I'm fighting Wotan, I literally, like, if you rewatch that kill, I don't shoot at another mob once. So borrowed time makes it so our action skills are up the entire Wotan fight. It was it was under a minute kill, so we basically just need our action skills to last that whole minute. And borrowed time let us do that. So you really don't need these points if you're literally not going for the fastest time possible, but if you are, you're going to want borrowed time. So into the Hitman Tree, since we're not running anything from the barrier and we only have a couple skills in the clone tree, this allowed us to get all these extra points into reload speed and our fire rate. This 100% helped us with the kill. Like I said, I was actually running Confident Competence. Graveward is the one who brought up this sort of build. And this thing works while mobbing too. You saw some footage. I'll post some footage after this breakdown while I give you guys some tips and whatnot. But yeah, the other crazy thing is only 1 point in salvation. This is just truly high risk, high reward. I highly suggest, once again, you run more points in salvation. This is kind of like borrowed time. Like how I said, you don't need borrowed time unless you're going for the Wotan kill. Well, you're going to want more points in salvation unless you want to min-max and spend the least amount of points possible to get the most amount of damage. And yeah, playing dirty is extremely important. If you are shooting Wotan with the hedgehog and playing dirty is not active, your damage will not look anywhere close to like what I showed you guys. The extra gyro jets from playing dirty adds more damage than anything else in this build, especially with Torgue stickies. So yeah, look out for that. Mostly we're using the drone to proc our class mod for us as we get into the fight. Usually if you sequence everything correctly between shooting the cutsman and then switching over and stuff like that, you should have it active. You can get unlucky and not proc your class mod, but when you proc your class mod, you're going to want a 100% chance for playing dirty. So yeah, But besides that, this build is actually really solid for mobbing as well. It can get a little shady sometimes without the all-rounder, but I do have to say, just like the banjo combo with the redistributor, you always have salvation active, and as long as you're shooting something, you pretty much can't go down. The only times you do go down is if you get shot in the back and you aren't shooting back. That was kind of a tongue twister. But yeah, so that's the skill trees. That's the gear. Let's go over some more gameplay and I will give you guys some more tips. So first, going over tips for getting record speed runs, if that's what you guys want to do. You have to realize every single moment, every single weapon swap, the amount of bullets I fired was all basically pre-planned. Like when I first start off the run, you see me shoot the Cutsman into his shield. I usually stop at 17 bullets. I think I stopped at 15 in the last one. That is very, like, I knew I was going to do that. I've been doing that on all of my runs. It just takes that many bullets to be able to get through his first shield. Then you, like, just everything, guys. If you really want the most tips, go over and watch my video again. Every single action is literally planned because I've done this run probably over 100 times. I was streaming this. I'm probably going to stream when I upload this video, just doing more kills just for fun this time, because it's kind of fun to get these speed kills at this point. Getting under a minute was so hard. I could probably do it again with enough tries, but with this build, I was able to consistently get a minute 30 or less. But basically, like I said, everything is just meticulously planned. The most important thing you have to watch out for is making sure your class mod actually procs your kill skills. There are a couple runs after, like for example, when I shoot the Cutsman into his shield, I will get very unlucky and my kill skills won't proc. So when I go to shoot the launcher, I don't have playing dirty active. It's just kind of something unlucky that happens, but you kind of have to watch for all that stuff. And you have to realize then that you're going to have to shoot a couple more bullets into him with your RPG. Basically just stuff like that to look out for. When it comes to mobbing with this build, it's pretty simple. It's just like the other banjo builds. Just shoot stuff and kill everything before it can kill you. Since we're not running the all-rounder, usually as long as you can keep your face towards enemies, like getting yourself into a corner is actually pretty good with this build. Unless stuff starts to swarm you, then you'll want to get out. But you basically just want to put your barrier in between you and your enemies, kind of obviously. But and then just shoot and you will get good results. Your lifesteal will always be active. And yeah, basically like I said though, if you just want to play the game normally, you can use this build exactly. I don't think you need to use borrowed time if you're not going for the speed kill, because like I said, since I was only literally shooting Wotan, we just don't proc good misfortune that raw number of times that like the redistributor and the banjo does, for example. So you won't need borrowed time if you're basically just playing the game normally and not going for speed kills. And you should put those points into salvation. Maybe don't use Supersonic Man, go for the all-rounder with confident competence, stuff like that. I just want you guys to know kind of my thought processes and just everything that went into doing this. And yeah, I think that's really all I could think of for now. If any of you have any questions about speedrunning and stuff like that, I'm happy to answer. I would love to compete with a bunch of other people on times. I would love to see someone get like 45 seconds. I could only imagine if that were to happen. I think it's definitely possible, which sounds insane. But yeah, so that's basically the video. I gotta give one final shout out to Graveward again. This is seriously like his build. We worked on this together for the most part, but he basically got rid of the all-rounder, went into Supersonic Man, and then he also put the extra points into the fire rate and the reload speed, and all that stuff was very important for being able to pull this stuff off. So big shout out to him, big credit to him. I just have the YouTube channel, so I'm covering it, you know. And finally, I want to give a shout out to all of my YouTube members: El Jefe, Jeremy Bentham, vanmec, Starcatcher, Andrew Whitting, Alexander, Vong Meng, Max N, Drumlion, Kaldra, Dreazzy, and Janus. Hopefully this list will get longer. It'll be hard to, you know, sell these names at that point. But I love all these people. I talk to them all the time, and I appreciate all of your guys' support. But that's it for the video, so don't forget to like and subscribe for more Borderlands 3 Mayhem 4 Zane builds, and don't forget to join the Zane Nation Discord. Link will be in a pinned comment down below. And if you want to become a member of my channel, like I said, I post sneak peeks of builds, extra content, stuff like that in the member section of my Discord, and link will be in the description for that. So I'll see you all in the next one. I'm out.